Welcome to the District 40 podcast, where voices unite, stories inspire, and leadership comes to life. We bring you the conversations, insights, and laughter that fuel our journey as communicators and leaders. And now, join your hosts, Althea Latang, Derek Boyer, Angela Norman, and Johnny Randolph. Together, they're ready to share, inspire, and empower right here on the District 40 podcast.
Good evening, District 40 friends and members. Welcome to our September podcast episode. My name's Althea Latang, and with me, we are the Dynamic Four, your podcast team. We have Johnny Randolph, Derek Boyer, and Angela Norman. Hi, everyone. How's it going this evening?
Great. How are you, Althea?
Amazing. We are in for a treat this evening. Before we get into the episode, I want to take an opportunity to share with everyone our podcast mission statement. And our mission is simple. It is to educate and to entertain our listeners and viewers by providing a positive and supportive experience to help our listeners and viewers develop stronger communication and leadership skills. And with that, I'd like to introduce the word of today. The word of today is nonpareil. And nonpareil it's an adjective that describes that something doesn't have an equal because it's better than. So an example of the word nonpareil is her speech at the Toastmasters competition was a nonpareil display of eloquence and confidence, setting a standard that inspired everyone in the room. So anyone taking the speaking platform this evening is encouraged to utilize the word of today. So let's check in with the podcast team. How is everyone doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, good, friends. We are officially in the fall season, right?
Are we? Is today fall? Is that the first day of fall?
It was yesterday. Was the what they call it? The autumn.
85 degrees.
I mean, I guess temperature-wise, it doesn't feel like fall, but according to the calendar, it is fall. So I'm curious to hear from you all. Do you have any favorite fun fall activities that you do with your family or friends?
Does Thanksgiving count? I mean, it's a fall activity.
It is a fall activity. All right. So you like dining and fellowship. What about you? Any fall activities you enjoy? I think I know.
Me?
Angela.
Sorry. I'm having technical difficulties. I didn't hear what you just said.
That's okay. No worries. I was asking. I said, I think I have an idea of what your favorite fall activity is, but I want to hear you tell me what it is.
Anything to do with football. Football. Steelers football. Watching the Ravens lose.
Oh, boy.
That was amazing. Go Lions. Go Lions.
Oh gosh, Detroit team. Okay.
Always.
What about you, Derek? What's your favorite fall activity?
I don't think I have any. I could tell you a fall activity that I hate. Raking leaves. Raking leaves. And I have a whole bunch outside right now.
All right. I think like Johnny, I enjoy like the festivities, like the food and the fellowship is what I enjoy about the fall. I love the changing of the leaves. That stuff is always pretty cool to see, but what's coming on the back end of that's not what I'm excited.
Exactly.
Well, all right, friends, let's get into our episode this evening. So we will have this episode 2 guests, but we'll start off with our first guest. So let me take an opportunity to read her bio. Our first guest is Sue Schindler, and Sue is our Club Growth Director for this program year. Sue is dedicated to helping clubs thrive by empowering member growth. She has held multiple leadership roles, including Club Quality Chair, a Division D Director, and leads by example at her home club, Toast of the Town, Kenwood. As club president for the 2020-2021 program year, she helped her club achieve President's Distinguished status after it was nearly suspended. That's pretty awesome. and that's one of her proudest accomplishments as a Toastmaster. What began as a goal to improve her speaking has become a life-changing journey of growth and leadership. Outside of Toastmasters, Sue enjoys time with her husband Bob and their 3 cats and volunteering with the United Way of Claremont County, local German clubs, and HART, which stands for Homeless Animal Rescue Team. District 40 is participating in the Rotary Conference, or participated in the Rotary Conference September 4th through the 6th at the Hyatt Regency downtown Columbus. And I believe Johnny was in attendance for that function. So there you have it. Let's join me. I'm losing my words here. Join me in welcoming to our episode this evening, our Club Growth Director, Sue Schindler. Yay! All right, there she is.
Great to be here.
Good evening, Sue, and how are you, my friend?
I am doing fantastic tonight because I can't think of a team that is more non-paral than the podcast team tonight.
Love that. Thank you. We appreciate that. Well, reading your bio, Sue, you've done a lot of great things within District 40. And as Club Growth Director, one of your goals is to help build and grow the district by creating opportunities for new clubs to be chartered. So you've been on the job now, Sue, for about 3 months. We are curious to know, how are things going for the Club Growth Director team? And is there any exciting things on the horizon that you would like to share with our district during our conversation tonight?
Absolutely. We have already chartered 2 new clubs. Vital Voices,
Wow,
which was actually due to the prior Club Growth team, Renee Mitchell and her team. And we just chartered a new club on September 16th, Naturally Speaking.
Nice.
And that is there in the Columbus area. So very excited about that. We are also looking at another club coming on board within the next month that is in the Westchester, Greater Cincinnati area. Our team, we have a really great team. Mary Jane Applin is our club extension chair. Colleen Gleason is our retention chair. Mary Gray is my assistant. We have club liaisons with Jenny Stein and Bill Livingston, Jeff Bott, and Hal McCoy have been helping with marketing. Deshaun Ramey, because I want to give a shout out to them as the club coach. And then Kelly O'Keefe is with our mentoring program, and Rick Weiler is with the sponsors. But anyway, we have been working on outreach. As you mentioned, we had the Rotary event the first weekend of September, with Johnny helped out with, and we're very appreciative. I'm a huge proponent of outreach. That, for example, if I say to you, like a good neighbor, what's your response?
State Farm is there.
You think much better than I do, Johnny. But it's getting the recognition of Toastmasters out there. We have one of the most, if not the most, inexpensive leadership communication program out there. And all of us who are on tonight know that this is a life changer if you join Toastmasters. We really want to get the word out that, hey, Toastmasters can change your life. Toastmasters can make a difference. So it's through the outreach. At one time, Toastmasters and Rotary had a really big connection, a big partnership. So we want to make sure that we look for partnerships that we had in the past and bring those back into focus. we continue to, let's see, we're doing outreach. Um, we had a partnership. We actually are going to be working with the Gahana Rotary Club
Hmm.
as a result of this. I'm going to Copeland on Thursday just to talk to their members about the benefits of Toastmasters. So we have some really good outreach going on at this point. We really want to continue that again because although we get leads to, possibilities of chartering clubs, you know, we're not always going to be able to keep that going. There's going to be times when we're not going to have as many leads as other times. So
Mhm.
that's when it's really, really important to make sure we have that outreach so that people are aware of what Toastmasters is, what the Toastmasters brand is, and how it can change your life. And I don't know if you have seen this or not, but if you go to the webpage, we have a promotion going on with Charles Hamilton. I know you're talking to him next, came up with, but it's videos of our Toastmasters. Johnny Randolph, no surprise, is one of the people we interviewed. But the whole premise is why did I get into Toastmasters? Because I think sometimes when we're in our club, maybe sometimes we get a little burnt out because we're doing so much. It's, hey, why did I really get into Toastmasters? What is it that sparked it for me? And then why do I continue to stay in Toastmasters? So if you haven't gone to the D40 website, definitely look that up. Tony Seriano is a member of Toast of the Town, which is my club. And he
Mhm.
was the one who actually started it. He is, believe it or not, an actor who was in the Robert De Niro film, the Irishman. It was on during COVID. But here you're
Right.
like, wow, here's this actor. Why did he join Toastmasters? And then you have people like Johnny, who is a longtime respected Toastmaster, Michael Pope, and then Charles and Chanel Hamilton are also talking about their experiences with Toastmasters. So it's just a way to promote some excitement, remind people why we got into Toastmasters and why it's really important to renew our memberships and to stay within our club and continue to grow.
Yeah, that's amazing. I appreciate the fact that you shout out your team. It takes a village, right, to
It does,
make these
yes.
things happen. So, shout out to your team. I know they're doing some hard and important work here in the district. So thank you for that. I'm going to throw things over to Derek for a question.
Oh, thank you out there. So,
You're welcome.
Sue, I've known you for quite a while now. We've got along very well. We've done a couple of projects together. But how will you and your team help support struggling clubs that are maybe on the verge of closing?
That is a really great question. A lot has to do with communication, checking in. And again, I'm a big proponent of thinking outside the box. And I'll just give you one example. Mae Frost is an area director within Division D, and she was working with a club that didn't qualify for a coach. And for those
Mhm.
of you who are unaware, if you have 12 members or less, you qualify for a coach. Well, this
Mhm.
club didn't, but they weren't getting the members coming to their club. And May came to me and said, Sue, is there any way that we could do a demo meeting for the emerging leaders within this company club? And it's like, well, sure, why not? So it was bringing a team together, scheduling a time because this company has emerging leaders, and bringing this short meeting on board and getting people excited, bringing on
Mhm.
new members. So
Yeah.
that's one way. We have the club coach program, which I just mentioned. Now, one of the things we're doing that's a little bit different than we have in the past, but as you know, we had the international conference about a
Mhm.
month ago, and I talk to people outside our district who are interested in being coaches because
Mm,
sometimes there's that bottleneck that,
yeah.
gosh, these clubs desperately want to coach and they really, really try. But, again, there's not the people to help them. So by looking outside the club and finding other coaches who are available, it's a really nice win-win situation. Again, it's also having communication with the area
Right.
directors, the division directors, making sure and checking in. Hey, what can we do? I really think that Toastmasters International is going to make a big difference because now the club success plan is mandatory.
Mm.
If
Oh,
you
really?
want to be distinguished, because a lot of times clubs were out there, they, sometimes you'd go to the social clubs or maybe they didn't have the Toastmasters brand, but
Mhm.
now they have this reference with the club success plan and saying, oh, okay, well, this is how we get to the next level.
Right.
Hopefully, as a result of this, we are going to be a stronger club. And then also, most of you are well aware of the Wednesday webinars. It's
Mhm.
working with Krista and other people and making sure that there's topics that are targeting clubs that are possibly struggling. For example, she presented one on onboarding a couple weeks ago. And then I did one last week on open houses. So it's giving those people who are watching the webinars ideas on, okay, this is how we can grow our club, retain our club, and make our club do better to thrive and succeed.
Awesome. And that probably will help the issue with people coming, joining for maybe like 1 year and staying and getting what they feel they need or wanted and then dropping out. Do you think that will also help
I do.
solidify those members?
Yeah, Daniel Schaefer, most of you know him as the magician. He's in Division E. He had done a study, and he did show that a majority of the people who do drop out after the first level of pathways. And
Hmm.
having that cohesiveness within the club, we're here together, we have this success plan, let's target,
Yeah.
let's see who is going to take on this speech, and so on and so forth. Just getting that down. And again, having that communication. The other
Right.
thing that I have seen this year, boy, we really have a dynamic team of division directors
Mm.
and area directors who are out there, who are campaigning, who are just communicating and making sure that clubs get what they need. So again, I just think we have a great team of people out there.
One final question that I have for you, Sue. How will you and your team define your success this year?
Oh, that's great. Great question. I would want at the end of the year for us to look back and see ourselves as a cohesive and collaborative team.
Hmm.
Our goal is to build or bring on 10 new clubs, which is a little bit more than what we have done in the past, but let's go for it. I know that one of the goals of program quality is to make sure that none of the clubs this year fold, and we will do everything that we can to support them. But also looking at if we have clubs out there that are struggling or maybe they have given up, let's talk to these members. Let's make sure that they are plugged in into new clubs that will help them thrive. So it's making sure that no matter where you are in Toastmasters, whether it's building a new club or it's staying within the Toastmaster organization, that each person empowers their own growth, and that as clubs and as a district, we empower growth for all our members as well. And that's how I would see us being successful.
Awesome. But Sue, we're all hoping that you and your team will have a non-parade year. And I'll
Thank
pass it
you.
over to Johnny.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sue. And if you want to hang out, by all means, feel free to do so. Or not, you can sign off, and we're going to move on forward. Oh, I didn't hear you, Sue. Okay. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name, just in case you didn't know, is Johnny Randolph. And I am here to introduce a man who has redefined the word champion. From the Bahamas to District 40, he went from a shaky icebreaker to storming the stage in speech contests, to becoming a force on every stage that he touches, from club champion, area champion, and division contender. And now he is your public relations manager for the 2025-2026 term. He is unstoppable. He is undeniable. He is Mr. N. Charles Hamilton.
Hold on. Before you say anything, Charles, did you pay Johnny for that introduction?
It sounds like I need to send him a cash app. What's that intro? Thanks so much, Johnny.
Well, how are you doing this evening, Charles?
I am doing amazing this evening, Johnny. It's always a pleasure being able to join this team. You have such an amazing group here doing the D40 podcast. And honestly, other districts are looking and are quite interested to see how they can replicate.
I like that. Well, Charles, as it was mentioned in your intro, you have the distinct pleasure of serving as the District 40 Public Relations Manager. The question that I want to start off asking you is, as the Public Relations Manager, what is the one skill, you probably have to have a lot, but what is the one skill that you think a public relations manager needs to have in order to be successful?
I think the one skill that a public relations manager needs to be successful is knowing how to lean on their team. You can't do the work of a district on your own or by yourself. And I think that our team here within the District 40 public relations and management team is really helping to do a big lift here within our district. So from distinguished Toastmasters Arlen and Jameer McIntosh to Toastmasters Ron Giuseppe, Betty Robbins, and Joy Williams. We are a small but mighty team that's trying to ensure that District 40 is able to understand what's happening across our district, from our website to our social media platforms to our newsletters and beyond. And trying to ensure that the great work that our various chairs are doing across the district is also being recognized. So everybody wants a lot of PRM, and we try our best to meet the demand. But the skill you need to have is knowing how and when to lean on your team and to celebrate them.
Okay. To follow up on that question, what has surprised you the most since you have taken the role of public relations manager for District 40?
I think what has surprised me the most is just hearing and understanding so much of what's going on within our district, right? Every single week, from the amazing club events that are going on to the various events and initiatives that are happening across club growth, program quality, the various chairs and the work that's being done, like trying to curate a newsletter in and of its own is difficult because of how much we have going on. And that's why this year we would have actually split up the newsletters to go out twice a month, because I realized that there's so much content that happens in our district and people need to know and understand what's going on. That way, things are are feeling a bit fresh, but it means it's more work. And I think that that's really a product of the energy and the empowerment that each of the various club chairs have taken on to push District 40 to another level. And so I'm just happy to be a part of it and to be able to really just celebrate how our district is growing.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm now going to pass it over to our other co-host. You may not be able to see her, but I believe she has audio. Angela, are you there?
I am here. I'm sitting in my sauna because I've had some technical difficulties. So I'm trying to relax here. But Charles, I think it's great to get to be able to talk to you. Your life experience is so moving. I just wanted to ask you about, okay, so you are currently a climate change advisor. Is this correct?
Indeed, I am correct. And just before you answer the same questions, one of the interesting things about climate change and living in a country is that we sometimes experience power outages. So the beeping you're hearing in the background, the backup battery pack, so that I can continue to be here and always be prepared to serve our district.
Love it. Resilience. Love it.
But okay, so you just joined Toastmasters, and obviously you're a great speaker. You didn't join that long ago. How has, in this type of role in your career path that you've had, so I failed to mention you're a climate change advisor to the office of the Prime Minister. Like, how has Toastmasters helped you in communicating all those technical and jargon and be an advisor to people so that they can understand you better?
Toastmasters has helped me to know how to pivot immediately on the spot, to know that sometimes you'll be pulled to have to either go before a camera or to go and present in front of a group of people who will often, you have to be able to just jump, snap on, and say, what is it that you need me to talk about? And to speak extemporaneously for the time that you need. So from your table topics, that's where you build that in, to being able to know how to evaluate in a way that is positive, and also to provide constructive feedback, because that is a very tender line you have to play when you're operating at a particular level here in the Office of the Prime Minister. To being able just to deliver speeches in a way that is impactful to your audience, including having to deliver to audiences that may be difficult. And so some of the projects I've done across, now I think my 4th or 5th path now, has helped me to improve as a Toastmaster. And so for those who believe that the Pathways program is just something you just go through and you just check off boxes, no, it can help you to really reinforce some life skills that will help you in your professional career, in your networking career, even in your personal career, being able to give advice to people and be called to be a mentor. So yeah, that's how it's helped me. And I know for a fact that I've seen it help me to grow, because I've had to host podcasts for the office. I've been called to manage panels, and all of those are projects you do in Toastmasters.
That's insane. 4 or 5 pathways in 3 years. That's wild. How do you get it all? So you just alluded to it, but how do you get it all accomplished?
I think part of it is ensuring that you don't, when there's an opportunity to speak, you never let a speech go. And being able to plan and look through your path, you're able to get these speeches accomplished. Additionally, I took the approach, this is why I'm a part of District 40. I wanted to be able to grow outside of my comfort zone. And the only way you can do that sometimes is going outside of your club, going outside of your area, going outside of your district, even going outside of your own country in order to grow. And so speaking in other countries virtually. Sometimes when I travel for work, I try to find a Toastmasters club that I can speak to, right? Because that's how you will be able to grow and develop as a leader. And so that's how I've gone through those paths. I think it's 4, but I have a 5th one I'm about to like pick off. So it's been fun. I've been having an amazing time managing to go through the educational program.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to toss it back over to Althea. Thank you so much, Charles, and I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but thank you guys so much. You and Sue have been great, and just, gosh, that's so inspirational. How you can just use this every step of the way, every aspect in life and everything. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela. And I want to echo her sentiments as well. I do appreciate, Charles, the call out to the team, because the team is so important in the work that you all are doing with the district and getting information out to us as quickly and as concise as you can. So shout out to the PRM team for all the great work you guys are doing. And what's next on the horizon for you, Charles, before we let you go for the evening? What's new or next for public relations?
Yeah, I would say that for persons who are interested in learning a bit more about how Free Toast Host can help your club to attract more members and also make your educational experience a more interactive one, we encourage you to visit our website, where we had a basics Free Toast Host training led by our web mistress, Arlen, and she's going to do an advanced training that honestly is so helpful. I learned more from that particular 1 hour than my 3 years as a Toastmaster. So if you're interested in that, join us September 30th at 7 p.m.
Love it. Awesome. Well, with that, Charles, again, we want to thank you on behalf of the podcast team for being with us this evening. Keep up the great work in District 40, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, and have a great night, team.
Have a great one.
Take care. All right, friends, we heard from our club growth director and our public relations manager. So District 40 leadership. All right, friends, we're going to transition over to our news segment. So this is just our opportunity. We just heard from the public relations manager, and Charles shared that their team sent out communication to all club members twice monthly. So we're going to highlight a couple of those items within the district news that's been shared. So to kick things off, I'm going to throw it over to Derek. What news do you have that the people could use? You're on mute, my friend.
What news I have that the people can use? Does everyone know that we're changing the name from District 40? What are we all going to do with all of our District 40 gear?
I don't know.
I don't know if I can handle this, but I'm looking forward to the change. Change is always a good thing.
Yeah.
But be on the lookout for some communications over the change. I wish I could have asked Charles how he's going to handle that process, how we're going to do the changeover from District 40.
That's
But,
a good
yeah, I'm happy for change.
All
I'll
right.
pass it over to Angela.
Hey guys, so I was just thinking, I just wanted to bring up a reminder about the Smedley award coming to a close here soon. So let's all get some new members in before the end of the month. But then what I found really cool in our club is we have some people that aren't exactly new, but aren't exactly seasoned. So we're doing a lot of speech buddy stuff. So my speech buddy just told me, he's like, I want to get my DTM this year. So now he's dragging me along every time he signs up to give a speech. I'm like, okay, I'll try to keep up. And then I was dragging him along last year. So it's just, I think it's a really cool idea to have a speech buddy. Two of my mentees just decided to become speech buddies. So then it kind of gave me more room to make room for another mentee that's just brand new. So it's really cool seeing people inspire each other and just keep that in mind if you want somebody to help motivate you. If you're in a lull, like, I think getting the speech buddy is just really beneficial. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Angela.
Yeah.
Johnny, you have any news? I'm so sorry, friend. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Johnny, any news that the people can use?
Okay. I am going to share with you 3 statements. And at the conclusion of the final statement, I want you to point out what you noticed was a similarity or a common theme throughout the 3 statements. Now, these statements, they are going to be familiar, so that won't be a problem. Statement number 1, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You've all heard that before, I have to assume. Statement number 2, the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I do the hand movement because of my Catholic school background, so just ignore that. Statement number 3, stop, drop, and roll. Now, my distinguished colleagues, what was the common thread through each of those 3 statements?
3 words.
Yeah.
Statement.
Absolutely. They all came in the power of 3.
Mm-hmm.
The power of 3 for a speaker is our secret weapon.
Yeah.
The power of 3, it is a communication principle that says words and ideas grouped together in 3s are more powerful, more memorable, more persuasive. Now, you may be wondering, why is that? Anybody wondering why that is?
It probably has to do with the way how we remember things, maybe.
And you are on the right track out there.
Okay.
Our brains are hardwired for pattern recognition. It's an evolutionary process. When we were cavemen, if we didn't recognize patterns, the lion could jump out and just eat us if we didn't recognize things. So our brains are literally hardwired to do that. Now, also, if you think about it, 1, that's not really a pattern. It isn't a pattern. 2, it is more like multiple choice. But 3 is the smallest increment for pattern recognition. And it's a lot easier to remember 3 things than 10 things.
No, that's true.
Now, let's think about it. Some of history's greatest speeches and slogans have used this power of 3 process. Think about Senator Obama when he was running for president. Yes, we can. Nike, just do it. Also with Abraham Lincoln for the Gettysburg Address, he talked about a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Julius Caesar, I came, I saw, I conquered. Therefore, I am recommending to everybody out there who's listening in District 40, the next time that you want to give a speech, deliver a toast, initiate a call to action. Did y'all see what I did? All 3 of them told some things. All 3s. I encourage you to pursue the power of 3, because in speaking and in communication, 3 is not just a number. It is a formula. It is a formula for impact, a formula for connection, a formula for success. Back to you, Miss Althea.
Well, that was some good nuggets there. I love that.
Definitely.
Power 3. All right. Now, before we turn things over to Derek to cover our evaluation segment, I just want to take an opportunity to highlight with you all the Fall Awards recognition ceremony and the Emerging Leaders presentation that's coming up next Saturday, October 4th. I cannot believe October is next week already.
I know, that's crazy, isn't it?
I cannot believe we're there already. Yes, but the ceremony will be taking place here in the Columbus area at the Columbus Parsons Library, and the address is 1113 Parsons Avenue, Columbus, Ohio. Again, Saturday, October 4th. Check-in time is at 9:30 a.m., and the event will start at 10 a.m. So for those of you that are interested in attending, information was sent out via the District 40 Distinguished Communicator communication. There is a link to register to attend. And during the event, you will be hearing from a pretty special keynote speaker, Miss Stephanie Matthews. So she'll be there to provide the keynote. She is a creative producer, award-winning photographer, and the executive director of A Tribe for Jazz. Again, next Saturday, October 4th. Great opportunity to hear from the keynote, as well as have interface with the Emerging Leaders Group, as well as the Fall Award Recognition Ceremony. Now, we're going to turn things over to Derek, who's going to cover what I believe is the most important element of a Toastmasters meeting, the evaluation. How can we grow and get better if we don't know what we need to work on? So Derek, I'll turn things over to you to kick off the evaluation segment.
Thank you, Althea. The evaluation segment is definitely nonpareil. Today's speaker is someone who blends creativity, social impact, and education in a unique and powerful way. Dave Eggers is best known as a best-selling author and publisher, but he's also the founder of 826 Valencia, a writing and tutorial center for under-resourced youth in San Francisco that sparked the national movement. In this brief but impactful TED Talk, Eggers shares how a single idea grew into a community-driven effort to empower students through writing. He doesn't just speak about change, he shows us what it looks like in action. As you listen, pay attention to how he uses humor, personal story, and clear examples to inspire the audience, all in under 5 minutes.
Nice.
One second, I'll give this a play.
A 5-minute TED Talk? That's cool.
I don't think I've...
Oh.
Well,
Well, Derek left us.
sure did. All right, folks, things are getting really unpredictable when you're live.
Right, live TV, people.
All right, we're going to wait a couple seconds for Derek to rejoin the call.
So, Althea, what initiatives do you have coming up soon within Toastmasters?
Well, Johnny, great question. So currently I'm not in an official district leadership position this year. My focus has just mainly been at the club level. So shout out to Reynoldsburg Toastmasters. I'm serving as their vice president of education. So my goal this year is to help our club become Smedley distinguished. Oh. And we're doing that by making sure that we have our club success plan turned in on time.
Which it is.
Yes, we're making sure that at least 8 of our members get renewed by September 30th. Well, hey, we're going to get there.
We're moving towards it. We
got a week, right? And making sure that members are checking off those pathway projects as they're completing them. So I believe Charles mentioned during his time here during the interview that he's using opportunities to speak more. And my mentor always tells me, Althea, never speak for free. Never do something for free. No matter what it is that you're doing, is it within Toastmasters or in your professional life or even in your personal life, there are definitely some overlaps and opportunities for you to explore to ensure that you're utilizing those things you're learning in Toastmasters and applying that to what you're doing in those facets of your life. So that's what my focus is this year, making sure that I'm progressing with my path. I did earn my DTM last year. Don't want to stop there, want to continue to grow and to develop. So what about you, Johnny? I know right now you're not doing a leadership role within a district per se, but you're on a pretty neat endeavor. So how's that going for you?
For me, again, I am not serving. Well, I'm going to rephrase that. I am not the head of a District 40 role. I'm serving on the program quality team that's headed by Dr. Shirley Stallworth and the quality team. Our responsibility is working with the clubs to try to identify those that have the potential to be distinguished for this upcoming program year. So we've been working on some various techniques to help them reach that. If I were to say I had a goal, I am working on a keynote address, and for my long-term goal, Renee Mitchell, if you're out there listening, I would like to lead a learning session at the District 40 retreat coming up in 2026. Just one of the learning. I don't know how it's going to work because it's a little different from last year, but I would like to lead one of the learning sessions at the District 40 retreat.
All right, Renee, you heard it here. Johnny wants to be. All right, looks like we've got Derek back. All right.
Sorry, I don't know what happened, but let's try to see.
No worries.
Okay.
Let's give it a try again.
That's okay. Live TV. It's okay.
All right.
Can you see it?
We cannot. Oh, hold on. All right, we'll add it. And we can see it now.
There it is.
I had grown up around a lot of teachers. My mom was a teacher. My sister became a teacher. And after college, so many of my friends went into teaching. And so many of my friends that were teaching in city schools.
My fault. I'm messing up.
Were having trouble with their students that were keeping up at grade level in their reading and writing in particular. And they would talk to me about this and say, what we really need is just more people, more bodies, more one-on-one attention, more sort of hours, more expertise from people that have skills in English and could work with these students one-on-one. So when I moved back to San Francisco, we rented this building. And the idea was to put McSweeney's Quarterly that we publish twice or three times a year and a few other magazines. We're going to move it into an office and we were going to actually share space with a tutoring center. So we thought, we have all these writers and editors and everybody, sort of a writing community coming into the office every day anyway. Why don't we just open up the front of the building to students to come in there after school, get extra help on their written homework. So you have basically no border between these two communities, except for the landlord said, well, the space is zoned for retail. You have to come up with something. You've got to sell something. You can't just, have a tutoring center. So we thought, while we were renovating this place, somebody said, it really kind of looks like the hull of a ship. And somebody else said, well, you should sell pirate supplies. So this is the pirate supply store. And then right behind it, we set up this space, which was the tutoring center. So right there is the tutoring center. And then behind the curtain was the McSweeney's offices where all of us would be working on the magazine and book editing and things like that. And what we were trying to offer was every day was one-on-one attention. The goal is to have a 1-to-1 ratio with every one of these students. And so, it's been proven that 35 to 40 hours a year with one-on-one attention, a student can get one grade level higher. So we started off with about 12 volunteers, and then we had about 50, and then a couple hundred. And we now have 1,400 volunteers on our roster. It became a sort of weird, happy accident. So all the people I used to know in Brooklyn, they said, well, why don't we have a place like that here? And a lot of them have been, former educators or would-be educators. So they combined with a lot of local designers, local writers, and they just took the idea independently and they did their own thing. They didn't want to sell pirate supplies. They didn't think that was going to work there. So knowing the crime fighting community in New York, they opened the Brooklyn Superhero Supply Company. And it's LA, the Echo Park Time Travel Mart. Whenever you are, we're already then. These are spaces that are only affiliated with us, doing the same thing. Ward Street in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. InkSpot in Cincinnati, YouSpeak, San Francisco, California, which inspired us. Studio St. Louis in St. Louis. Austin Batcave in Austin, and Fighting Words in Dublin, Ireland, will be open in April. We hope to usher in a new era of participation in our public schools. So we created a website. It's called Once Upon a School. This site will document every story, every project that comes out of this conference around the world. So you go to the website, you see a bunch of ideas you can be inspired by, and then you add your own projects once you get started. We hope that you will take the lead in partnering your innovative spirit and expertise with that of innovative educators in your community. Always let the teachers lead the way. They will tell you how to be useful. There's a million ways you can walk up to your local school and consult with the teachers. They'll always tell you how to help. So this is the TED Wish. I wish that you personally and every creative individual and organization that you know will find a way to directly engage with a public school in your area, and that you will then tell the story of how you got involved so that within a year we have 1,000 examples, 1,000 examples of transformative partnerships. The schools need you, the teachers need you, students and parents need you. They need your actual person, your physical personhood, and your open minds and open ears and boundless compassion, sitting next to them, listening and nodding and asking questions for hours at a time. Some of these kids just don't plain know how good they are, how smart and how much they have to say. You can tell them. You can shine that light on them, one human interaction at a time. So we hope you'll join us. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay. So I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what happened the first time, but
Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
Yep.
All right.
Toastmasters don't apologize.
We improvise.
I personally think he has a powerful message, right? But to me, it seemed like he was racing
He
the first like 3 minutes. Like
He was.
TED Talks are normally longer than 5 minutes. I don't know if he was. I don't know why this was so short. If he had some kind of time crunch or whatever. But to me, it seemed like he was going at a fast pace.
Yeah.
And like after 3 or 4 minutes or so, it seemed like he was like, okay, I can calm down. I have enough time. I could go home and finish. But he definitely had a message. And the message was for us to get involved, to make a difference, right? So I think he accomplished getting that message across. I think some of his strengths is that he speaks with extreme passion. I felt like he had a good tone. It was definitely engaging. He landed his jokes. But again, like, we started laughing. He was just like, boom, he kept going on right to the next point.
Right.
So I think he definitely has some work he can do with timing and slowing down his speed. But other than that, it was a pretty good speech.
So I agree with a lot of what you said, Derek. I think we should also remember too with TED Talks are not necessarily professional speakers. They're people who have ideas and they come to the TED conference to give the idea.
Mhm.
And I think that was evident in this speech, as in he was not very polished or rehearsed. I did think he was very passionate, and you could feel the passion. And I thought this was a very noble idea. Matter of fact, I love the idea. I want to learn more about it. But from a speaking standpoint, to me, he did move very fast.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of good lines. He had a lot of good lines, such as I think he said, "Oh yes," but he just moved on so quickly. He didn't allow time for it to land and
sink in, right?
Yeah, to observe it. And one of the things that I also noticed was he kept turning back to look at the pictures that were on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's okay to do it once, but if you keep doing it, you're breaking your connection with your audience, and then you have to come back and reestablish it. So for me, as an evaluator, I would like to definitely see him slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down, lean into his strengths, which were his passion and his pictures. Those pictures were absolutely great. So slow down, take some time, let those land, and don't ever turn your back or your head, your gaze away from your audience.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because his eye contact wasn't that great with the audience, right? He was all over the place, kind of.
I agree. A lot of gestures, like unnecessary, stuff going on there. But I agree. The passion and actually the structure was great as well. Like he made points. He had a conclusion, but he was just rushing so much and doing so much with his hands. I think he just took away from it with not pausing and letting it sink in. I agree.
You should have came to the Randolph Speaker Bureau.
Maybe you can reach out to him and offer your services. I agree with all of your recommendations. I felt that, if he had time to really give this speech again, using the feedback we provided, he would be, I think, more dynamic. But I do appreciate his call to action at the end.
Yeah.
So, just inspiring those to help children, in their communities, just by connecting with them. I appreciate that call to action. But yeah, echoing everything else that you guys say, so I'm not going to repeat that. But thank you for This is the
Do-
quickest TED Talk I've ever seen.
Do you all know the maximum length of time for a TED Talk?
I don't. What is it?
It is 18 minutes. That is the maximum time extended to every single person that does it. And it's backed by neuroscience because at about anywhere between a 15 to 18 minutes of one person talking, your audience just starts to drift
Wander
away.
off. Yeah.
And so Ted never wanted it to exceed that moment because some of the people that do these talks, they have years worth of material and research, and it doesn't matter whether you're the president or just a neophyte. You get 18 minutes, and most of the successful ones are between 13 to 15 minutes. The top 10 of most viewed are between 13 to 15 minutes because they recognize people start to drift. If you're just listening, if you're not engaging them, showing pictures, all of those things.
Yeah. Awesome.
And in the Derek, if you don't mind, if you have it, could you put it in the chat, the YouTube chat? The link to the video, because we have Kent is in the chat and he wanted to know what was the link to that TED Talk. So if you have it, you could put it in. If you could put it in the chat.
I will try.
All right. So thank
And
you.
if not, we'll find it and go back and put it in.
All right. Well, my friends, I believe we are at the end of our episode this evening. So want to thank you all for joining us. Again, thank you, Sue and Charles, for being our gracious guests this month. Shout out to them. So for all things District 40 News, please pay attention to the Distinguished Communicator. Remember, Smedley Award deadline is next Tuesday, September 30th. Make sure you've got your club success plan submitted by the deadline. And we wish you guys a great rest of the month. And we'll see you in October. Have a good evening, District 40.
Bye.
Guys.